hopefully my audio is working. Let's see. Well, it says Blue Nessie, but it says this is off. There, that looks like it's working. Hello, how are you? I just had my morning coffee whilst wearing my Peppa Pig Christmas shirt. Yeah. I'm having myself a little party at my pirate house. Yarr. Okay, so today I need to do a little bit of work on doors again, because if I can't get doors working, then that's going to be a problem. So what I'm going to do is put on my thing, so I can either do it just chat. I might just do it in this one, I don't know, this is kind of nice. I like, you know, it says short intermission at the top. Could be this one. Yeah, that's it. What do you reckons? If I was to take, actually I reckon this is hard code. Shit. So I would just need to put something over where it says short intermission. I may do that. Anyway, hello everybody, how are you? Sorry, I'm just waffling away to myself as I always do. I hope you're well on this glorious Monday. I have the sun shining in through the window, and thanks to it being, well, what do you call it, a lockdown, I don't actually have to see anybody at all, which is marvellous. Bugger 'em. So, delicious. I love how I keep swapping between 1 and 0 viewers and 2 viewers. Ooh. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working inside of Unreal Engine. So nope. Yes. Okay, so I'm over on Unreal Engine now. This is going to be slow, you know, because I'm doing some stuff, but I'm learning stuff as well. It's just the way it's going to be. So I need to. I've got a couple. Well, I've got 8 screens just to put things in perspective for you. Okay, so I have got 8 monitors, basically 2 52K monitors split into 2 parts. So I've got this one, okay, which is split into 4 1080p's, and then that one split into 4 1080p's. Now I'm not on the Zoom today, so 2 windows I don't need. I might just put YouTube on, who knows. Anyway, if you can hear me, please say hello. There should be a chat pane. If you can't say hello because perhaps you're on Facebook or something like that, then please feel free to, you know, come onto our CGPirates.com website and say hello now and then. Let's go into the documentation because I need to do some stuff regarding doors. Yes, this is pretty exciting stuff. Meanwhile, you can have a look at the new lighting that I've got in place now on the wiki. That is dynamically lighting our beautiful green fields. Also, it's a lot faster. So there's a thing. Doors, here we are, doors. Right, there's many ways to implement doors, blah 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 blah. You can change both open and close animated, generate doors, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to make a workbench. There we go, so this is my workbench level. Whenever I have students that I'm teaching live, we always make a workbench level because it allows me to basically look at what's going on. If I just click play, wait a little while. Wow, this is taking a bit. Okay, and you can see this. I'm kind of looking around, I'm able to look around. Plus zooming in and out. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to put a door in this. Now, I was using some examples over here. Doors. Let's see if I can find one. Doors here. So BP bidirectional door. I'll just drag that into my scene. abstract class for my door. Play again. Door's locked. Okay, so I should be able to change options on this door. Can be damaged. Nope. Nothing. So this one's locked, and that one isn't. Okay. Now, I'm going to have a look because there's some things that I need to change on this. Things like, you know, scales and shit like that. So I think I'm going to have to probably build one from scratch. Now the reason for that is because if I come down to my starter content architecture, might be a second door's going. See ya. Oh, pharmacy now. Nice. Daughter's medicine. Right, so the problem is, you see, that I use this as my scale reference for just about everything in the game, and as a scale reference it ain't going to work. Now, there's a couple of options I can do here, but to be honest there's a very easy option that I have only just thought about that probably makes more sense than what I've been doing, because I think I may actually be a complete idiot. In fact I am. Okay, so if I go into my Unreal Engine scene, so I'll save this as workbench. See, this is how you get to see me doing stuff. Okay, I know it's terribly dull, so I'll send everyone a hello. There we go, there's a hello for you all. Okay, so where was I? Now I want to go to my previous level, so recent levels, and I'm going to go to my clean template. That's what it is. This is just my optimized variation of the wiki. Okay, now wall underscore window. That's not a wall window, it's a door. Doesn't matter, we'll be able to work with this. There should be a few wall doors. 400 by, yeah, there, these look fine. Okay, because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to basically have to go and I'm going to have to do a lot of replacing to fix up these. So, for that to work, I think I can probably replace this mesh here, and if I do that, then it's going to fix a lot of my problems. Now I should have my 3ds Max still installed. I put in a new hard disk drive, but I should have it installed. So what I want to do is just take a quick sounding. So I'm just going to grab my wall door here, and because I'm using my HE set for this, I'm going to go to Firehorror Mechanics Blueprints, and doors. There's my door abstract class, and this will give me a rough idea of how too small my door is. Quite a bit too small, as you can see. Let's push this back. So I reckon I'm looking at round about, I mean I'm looking at off the top of my head here, I'd say I'm looking at about maybe 20, 25 centimetres. Now I'm just going to do this rough just to kind of check it. So right click, and with my asset, which I've got here, I'm going to, let me see, yeah, right, so I'll just go to its root, which is there, and delete this. So right click, asset actions, I'm going to export. Okay, and if I go to my desktop, and I'll put it in my new folder. So new, you can see I play Satisfactory a lot. New, and I'm going to call this one temporary 3D files. That's what it is. Okay, and we'll call it wall door blah. Done. Okay, now let's load up 3ds Max. If you're loading up Blender or whatever, fair play to you. One day I'll get around to learning it. It's just I'm so old-fashioned that I still use 3ds Max. By the way, you guys who are just chilling out and zoning, hi. Would you like some relaxing music while I'm doing this? Because I know I would. Let's put on a little bit of... actually, I suppose I need to be careful, because if I put on music, even if it's by the lovely David Lynch, it will be... I'll get... what do you call it? DMC. I should send an email to a couple of artists so I can ask if I can play their music while I'm working. I mean, it's not like I'm monetizing bloody videos, is it? Anyway, here we are. Here's 3ds Max. Bye bye, other viewer, whoever you were. 41% skipped frames. It must have gone quite slowly. Okay, so file, and I'm going to import. Go to my desktop, temporary 3D files, Waldorf 400 by 300. Okay. Right, so we can see this is a fairly simple model. So I'm just going to get this one. I'm going to hit F4 just to check the geometry so that I don't do something that I probably shouldn't. I don't know if I can, no, it's fine. Okay, so it's editable mesh. I'll just keep it as an editable mesh, and I'm just going to select all of the verts here. Now this will result in a bit of stretching, but because I'm using a lot of decals, hopefully it won't affect things too badly. Okay, fingers crossed. Actually, shit. Thinking about this, I should be a bit more wary and a bit more careful about what I'm doing, I suppose. Let's have a look at the UV map. So unwrap UVW. And if I open that out, okay, nice UV map, dude. Nice UV map. Right, so let's have a look at this. This is the bit that I'm interested in, here and here. Now if I just bring this up, it's going to warp things quite heavily, because where's my move gizmo gone? And I'm curious now as to where my move gizmo has gone. 3ds Max, why do you tease me so? Okay, so I've got move gizmos for this ship, not for this ship for some reason. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think I'll convert this to an editable poly after all. Convert to editable poly. It looks like it's just a door shape. What are you doing, Chris? It's just so that I can kind of maintain the integrity as much as I can of the existing UV map, because I don't want to have to re-UV map every fucking item in the game. Which I think, because this is tries, isn't going to be particularly easy. Solid. I'll just do it the other way. So I'm just going to grab all of these. And my Z is set at 82, so if I set that at 105, I think that's probably a bit high. Let's say 100. Okay, so 100. Now let's see how that looks if I import it in. So file, export, selected, and again I'm just going to stick this in my temporary 3D files. I'll call this version B. There's a hum sound covering my voice. Is that any better? Could it be the computer? Do you think? The computer's quite close to me now. Just let me know, yuck yuck, if that's a little bit clearer. If you can't hear my voice at all, then hang on a second, I'll just message you. Just check yuck yuck can hear my voice. Meanwhile, I'm going to export this. It'll take yuck yuck about 30 seconds because, you know, that's the way it goes. wondering, to be honest, Yuck Yuck, if that's the sound of my computer, because my actual computer is pretty close to my... So let me just quickly see if it's not a very long cable, you see. Hold on. Right. I think that's about as far from the computer as I can make it, unfortunately, Yuck Yuck, because like I say, my computer's fairly quiet, but then again, I am a bit deaf, so I don't tend to hear things too well, unfortunately. Right, I'm just going to bring this file into here. Let me know if the sound's terrible. As long as you can hear me, that's what's important. So import to... What I'll try doing, if you want, is I'll try making it my different microphone and see if that helps. It's not as good as this one, but we shall have a look in a moment. Just a sec. Right, so now I have wall door slightly different, just there, with its hilarious scale set y'all wrong. Its scale's all wrong. I think this is actually like 3 or 4 times smaller than that one is. 2 times smaller? Let's have a look. It's weird how models come across sometimes from, no, it's like with 2, what the fuck, man? Certainly not 3. 3's too big. It's a 2.5 times scale. it's just a weird, arbitrary flipping number, isn't it? I can tell. That is so strange. Okay, I'm just going to double click and check on this. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any kind of scaling options going on over here when they're doing it. How you tease video game, how you tease. But I do need a higher door, no matter what happens in this, I need a higher door, so... So that should be 400 by 200 by 300, and this is random. 157 by 7 by 118, just completely random. Why me? Alright, so I'm not sure why exactly it's resized itself when we exported it out of this, but it has done. So I can't just roughly make this 200, it's not going to work that way. Okay, there is another thing I can do that I'd completely forgotten about, that I can do now because, you know, we have Unreal Engine. So this is going to be a bit of a risk, and the first time I've done this. Modes. So I'm going to go over here to Edit, Project Settings, and let me see, skipping a lot of frames there, little buddy. So, yeah, that's all fine. So I'm going to go Edit, Project Settings. Hello people who are in the channel, by the way. I know only Yuck Yuck's typing anything. Okay, that doesn't mean you can't. It would be lovely to hear from you. Yeah, I think what you're hearing, Yuck Yuck, is the fan, to be honest. Anyway, Edit, Plugins. 85% of frames dropped. Wow. That's not good. Hopefully you are seeing stuff. There's a lot going on here. My graphics card is a little bit slow. Okay, so polygon editing. So static mesh, polygon editing tools. See what else we've got here. I don't want Chaos Cloth at the minute, or Code Editor. Modeling tools, editor mode. What else have we got in here? Got polygon editing, sample tools, editor mode. No. And I'll just type in mesh as well. The good thing is, because I'm not actually teaching live students today, I can actually look at my manuals and things, which is a help. Okay, that's good. That's all good. Restart now. Save everything. restart again any minute. It just takes a few moments. There we go. So now I should have it added. Modes. Modelling. Here we are. So now select a tool from the toolbar. Well, let's see. Can I change it inside this? Can I do editing directly? Yes, I can. Alright. So select that polygon and that polygon. Just there. Can I move them? Can I? Or can I just select them? Okay, well I can reunify the normals, but that's not really what I wanted. What I want is to be able to actually do something with these polygons. Okay, so let's assume I haven't got the right tools loaded up and go back to this. So I'm going to, let's see. Check I've got it on. No, this isn't very useful, is it? So it appears that my options in polygon editing are to select my polygons and flip around the face if I want to. That's useless. Let's see if there's anything else in here that I can use. Custom mesh, mesh painting, editable mesh, polygon editing. Okay, so that's really not that useful. What else? Well, let's say mode. So let's see if there's different modes that I've missed. Geometry and BSP editing is enabled. Sample tools editor mode. Why not? Just turn that on anyway. Right, so I've looked at poly, and I've looked at mesh, and I've got everything enabled that I think needs enabling. So, okay, let's restart anyway. Hi Nick, yeah, I've heard that actually. Just give me a second. I'm going to switch microphones. Just 2 minutes, it might go quiet. I talk a lot, so you'll know if it's gone quiet, trust me on this. Where the hell is my audio? Audio output capture? It's not audio output, it's audio input capture. There we go. Okay, what about now? I'm just trying to find out if there's any streams that have too much buzzing on. Okay, how does that sound? Okay, I've turned off the other microphone. Is that fixed now? Or is that? Now is good, great. So what I've worked out is that was the line audio capture. For some reason there was a fifth audio input capture. So if it's working, that's great. Also, hello Nick Numbers, you are very welcome here. Don't worry, you don't have to pay any money, click anything, or buy any t-shirts. You're just welcome. Right, I'm gonna close this. I know people come to streaming channels and they're all like, hey dude, buy my shirt and shit like that. But no, you just, I'm glad to see you here. Hello. Right, so let's try again with this. So modes. I now have my modeling tool set. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see if I can do it with my modeling tool set. Okay, so I've got my mesh editing still. You see, I'm really trying to avoid taking this away and doing a new mesh because I know exactly what's going to happen. Plus, it's not very good at exporting it to the correct size, which isn't good. So, okay, certainly that's not working. Groovy, okay. Okay, let's close that shit. So instead, what else can we do? Well, I can presumably, because I'm in modes modeling, let's see, I can use my select tool just directly, obviously. Yep, that's what this is. I can just directly select things, because of course that's way more sensible. Come on, Unreal Engine, this doesn't seem like a very good idea, does it? Like, at all. And this brush is too big as well. Yeah, that is just not any use. Okay, clear. Right, so I've selected something. Will it let me transform it? Of course it won't. This is possibly the worst. Sorry, Epic, because I know that like we get on well and we're good buds and everything. Right. Well, shit. Okay, so I can't use this method. This is not going to work. So I can't use my mesh paint and I can't use my modeling. Both of these are bloody useless. So let's go back to select mode. Okay, so what I need to do is have a look at why it won't export this. So if I just drop my wall door 400 by 300, and this is basically the same model but with a higher door and the scale wrong for whatever reason. Now the scale on this reads 1, the scale on this reads 1. Now when I exported this mesh, which I'm going to do again, so I'll just delete that. There we go. Okay, so now I need to find why I can't export this door, because, you know, fuck this door. Oh, incidentally, don't worry about the texture streaming going over budget, it's just because it literally had to load everything in simultaneously. Yeah, hates doing that. Right, now where was I? Yeah, wall door 400 by 300. So right click, Asset Actions, Export. So I'm exporting it to my desktop, into my temporary 3D files, into there. New 21K file. Do I want to replace it? Yeah. Right, so let's see what the hell it's doing in the exporting. So it's not changing any of its scales here. It's not changing anything, to be honest, which I don't understand. So it's basically being a douche nugget. Sighs heavily to himself. Okay, so export. Right, so I'm going to load up my 3ds Max again, because I've already done this once, so you know, doing it twice is a great idea. By the way, don't worry if you get bored and you want to go and do something else, you know, I don't mind. It's fine. I understand that sometimes watching me do the same thing over and over and over again can be a little bit boring. Oh, I need a coffee. Good God. If you're very lucky though, later on I'll play some hurdy-gurdy for you. My God, I've been doing this for 32 minutes. Okay, so file, import, and I'm going to import my model again from here. So wall door 300 by 400. Now let's see. System frame rate, blah blah blah, centimeters, yes, blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. Over my geometry, yeah, that's fine. Include, yes, advanced options, units. Right, scale factor. Why do I want this scale factor? I do not want this scale unit factor. There. File units converted to centimeters. Fixed it. Okay, so firstly, where's my goddamn thing? Could be me, but I'm not noticing a whole lot of geometry imported here. If I press H, there is no geometry imported here. What are you doing, 3ds Max? Okay, let's try that again. File, import this. Okay, so we've got centimeters. No, centimeters. God damn you. Okay. So for some reason it's decided it's not going to import stuff. File content. Add and update animation. Sure, why not? Right, there we go. Yes! We finally have the doorway in the scene. Now I'm going to open it up. And all I need to do is just raise the top of this door by a small margin. Now it is going to add some warping, but like I say, I'm using a lot of decals, which hopefully will get around a lot of these issues. So, enable editable mesh, and I'm just going to grab these. Now I've got to raise them all technically, I can't just raise some of them. Let's have a look. Actually, these polygons on the inside here are pretty much hidden, so it wouldn't behoove me to do these a slightly different way maybe. Let's have a look. I hate the colour it uses though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, convert to editable poly, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these, okay, just for the moment. I can very easily put them back, so don't worry that they're going anywhere. Control backspace. Control backspace. Because this is a very, very, very old model. Okay, next I'm going to put in a swift loop, which I'll just put in about there, because I'm just doing it by eye. And I think there's about approps. You can see it's broken my model straight away, which means that this is a lot worse construction than I thought. So now I'm going to take out some bits, which hopefully will fix it, and it did, so that's good. Right, now I've got some new polygons I can add in, so I'm just going to use my bridge tool. So if I go into my select by edge, bridge, . There we go. And these are now bridged. Okay. Now I can convert to editable patch and then convert to editable mesh. And by doing that, it just puts the tries back in, you see? So we've got a few more tries in here. Now I haven't unwrapped this. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to export it as my test. So with everything selected, File, Export selected, and I'm going to send this off to the same folder that it was in, temporary 3D files. Right, now I need to make a new subfolder in this, which I'll just call sub. I'll just click this once so it gives me the name, and then go to my subfolder in 3ds Max and click save. There we do. Right, let's just check this. Units. Seeing units converted to, I don't think so. There. Oh wait, scale factor. No, we'll keep the scale factor the way it is then. Bugger that. Okay, so let's click OK, because we don't want to convert it to anything. Now, let's see if in Unreal Engine, for whatever reason, this has worked. So, import, desktop, temporary 3D files, sub. I'm going to make a Control-C, Control-V of this, and just open the copy. Give it a second, or 10. I'll look out the window. Man, Mondays, am I right? Finger guns. This thing's taken a while. If it crashes, it doesn't matter, because I won't have lost anything. Degenerate tangent bases, incorrect shading, blah 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 blah. Don't care. Right. Because sometimes you've got to think to yourself, do I give a shit? And the answer is no. Right, so there we go. There's our old door. Ooh, where are you going? Come back here. I'll shut this down. Right, there's our new door. And then next to it is our old door. Okay, they look fine. So what I'm going to do is just select both of these, and I'm going to go to my workbench. So recent levels, workbench. Don't save. Hey, what's up? Oh, I'm just doing a live stream. Could you do me a favour and throw some water in the kettle for me, please? Thanks. Okay, so now if I select this and this, right click, replace actor with, and then hit play. Okay, that looks okay. All sizes are good. The only thing that's wrong with it is that I don't think there's any collision mesh with it. If I hit play, I should just get stuck in it. Knew it. Okay, so I'll fix that in just a second. Right, so next, let's see if I can replace the actual wall door 400 by 300 here with this one. My copy, which is a dangerous thing to be doing, but I'll give it a go. So I'm going to go here to my asset actions. Let me see. Now, can I reload? Replace references to the selected assets. Select an asset to serve to consolidate the non-selected assets to. This will replace all uses of the non-selected assets below with the selected assets. I see. So that's one way of doing it then, I suppose. Let's go into my main project level. Okay. Now, see, so if I select this and right click and replace, as you can see it's stuck that texture there. So when I select this, yeah. Okay, so I can still put that on there. That still seems to work. And now I can stick a door in there, so that's good. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to find anything that has my door in it, really, my wall door. So if I go wall door, and I can see all of these things are wall doors. Like so. And then I can't imagine this is, oh god, it's the walls and everything. I think I'm going to have to manually do this, rather distressingly, but at least I can just swap out my door wall thing. Blah. So come in here, and here, because I'm going to have to be selective, because what happened is there's some occasions where I actually converted one piece of geometry into a different style. So if I just do this, you'll notice my geometry isn't actually screwing up. It's because the decals are still working for me. Okay, now here, there we go. So as long as I'm maintaining my decals, things should be okay. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go down this staircase. I need to change the way the planks are set on that floor, but that's okay. Now here. And it is far too bright inside this house. The problem is that I have my, what do you call it, my skylight, and it is very much oversaturating my scene with light at the minute, so I will be going back and fixing that. But for the moment I just want to get my doorways fixed, because this has been a major bugbear for me. So again, just here. Now then, over here, where these are probably going to be more of an issue, because these are actually part of the mesh. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just come in and clean these down. But I'll just work with that when I get to it. Now, let's go down here to the engine room. And you're getting a nice tour of everything at least, so I hope you're enjoying your tour. Okay, so here at the engine room, I'm going to do the same again. Just to increase the size of my doors. I see I dropped a frame there, that's no good, but never mind. Okay, now over here, I'm not going to bother putting any changes to the doors down there on the bothies, because the bothies don't really need it. They don't actually have doors as such anyway. This does though, with it being a churchy kind of building. So as you can see, it's changed the warp a little bit, but not so much that it's going to cause me issues. Now then, this, interesting, this, yeah, okay, so what I need to do here is just bring this up in line with everything else. And I'll bring this up to, there we go. Okay, because it's just sticking through the ceiling, we can't see it. If you can't see it, we don't worry about it. That's the general rule of thumb here. Okay, next, let's go down here. Make sure everything is in the right direction, and shit, which it is. I'm going to change that to wood. It shouldn't be stone. Stone would not work there. Anyway, come through here and just check our directions. Yep, that's fine. Down here, down here, down here, down here, down here. Yeah, this is all good. Okay, so here, change the door. And out we come. Hooray! Alright. Come along here, just check out the old village. Yep, this all looks nice. Okay, so that's working. Good morning, how are you, Mr. Morris? I'm just going to go and make myself a quick coffee. And then I'll get back to what I was doing, which is I now need to put the doors in. No, sadly not, Alex. It's well, it's just one of those things, unfortunately. I think I don't know where I am on the queue because Scan hasn't sent me any new emails. So I put in my new hard disk drive while I was waiting anyway. So that should hopefully keep me busy. Right, I need to work on some door assets. So I'm going to come up here out of the way. Obviously this is quite a heavy scene, so as you can see there's a bit of flickering going on. And so sorry if it's jumping about a bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save this. And I'm going to do some work in my other template. So file, recent levels, workbench. That way there won't be as much going on the screen and it should be a little bit smoother. Because it dropped a shitload of frames while I was doing that. Tell you what, when I've got the new graphics card, this is going to be so flipping much easier. In fact, why don't we all have a laugh together and I'll have a quick look and see when my scan update is likely to be. Here we are. Bearing in mind that Scan is the official British supplier for NVIDIA. Last updated on the 7th, so that was what, 2 days ago. Thanks, Scan. Scan status? Green. Okay, so let me see. I am on the 3070 list for a pallet. There's 238 outstanding pre-orders going on for the pallet model. And well, here we go. This says NA because no deliveries expected. Fucking great. So it would appear that I am still far from getting my pallet model, unfortunately. Thank you, Scan. Thank you. When you're a top streamer like me, streaming to up to 7 people simultaneously, you know, you'd think there'd be slightly more on the ball. 7 people. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back down here to my workbench and I need to work on some door stuff. So I'm just going to pull out a couple of doors. And I'm going to pull out some floors. Alex is getting flashbacks to the classes now where we all worked constantly inside a workbench. Control S. Right, next thing I need to do is pull up a second content browser. There we are, which I'll just split off here. I'm going to stick it in my window 3. Okay, so you can't see it, but it is here. Because I just need to be able to move stuff into places I need it. Now, I think I was using Lighthouse. Yeah, there we go. Assets. I'm just making a new folder called Doors inside Assets. You can't see this, I am sorry. Okay, but I need a place where I'm going to be putting this. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's completely bloody ridiculous, Alex. I mean, I need this, you know. I've got to teach water dynamics to a company, hopefully in a week or two, you know, and it's very, very hard teaching water dynamics when I can't run a water simulation simultaneous with streaming. It really is. Okay, let me see. I'm going to go into my doors folder. And I want to go into this and get my blueprint for my doors. BP door abstract class. So I'm going to copy it. Look at my viewport. Blueprint bad. Okay, I can see this blueprint is not a BP abstract class, therefore target must have a connection. What's my target? First time cross. Oh Jesus. Okay, I can see where this is going. You know what? I'm gonna have a laugh emailing Evo and asking where my bloody stuff is. Dear Evo, where is my stuff? No, I'm not new to scan. My God. Why can you not recognize my account scan? Look at this. Apparently best way to buy a pre-built OEM and salvage the card. Yeah, I can believe that. I really can. Although unfortunately I can't afford an OEM machine at the moment. Tempting as it sounds. I could barely afford the graphics card. Unfortunately, I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, training's great and all, but I don't think I'll make enough to actually buy a full brand new Xeon workstation filled with lovely 3090s, sadly. Not that I've taken on a few expensive clients anyway. Right, where was I? BP door abstract class. That's what I want to look at. So this is my door. Ploink. Like so. I should also be able to make a new blueprint. Just want to do a test on this. Add component. Door. No, it's not letting me access that. I was convinced it might. Let me try something else. Yeah, I can understand that. I had a lovely old Xeon workstation, but unfortunately it sounded like a hovercraft because it had so many fans in it. Right, let's see, all classes, door. Here we are. So here's my door abstract class. And here's my door example. Select that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. I'm just going to delete these. I did a delete. Do you remember the thing I told you not to do? I just did a delete on my busy file. However, this SSD I'm using is like an M2 Evo 970, so at least it's fast. Okay, content, lighthouse, assets, doors, right click. Create new field. Yeah, this is true. Mind you, the ability to be able to migrate your entire hard disk drive does make things a hell of a lot easier. Like, that's so much easier. Okay, so BP animated door, BP bi-directional door. Let's see what happens when I select that. I get a door. Perfect. So this is my new door blueprint, which I shall call BP door 1, because this will be my model 1 door. I can now bring this into my scheme. Now then, as far as I'm aware, door handles tend to be on the right. Yeah, hard disk drive migration. I used, when I bought my Evo 970, I went to the Samsung website and just did a quick search to see what tools they had. And one of the tools they had was a boot drive migrator. So what you do is you install your new SSD to whichever slot it gives it. And then I used the ran the migration tool. It told me to select my new drive, select my old boot drive, and then off it went. Moved everything across. Yeah, just if you're using a Samsung one, I use my Samsung data migration tool. Yep, Samsung data migration tool, and it basically just took my entire boot drive, moved it all onto there, and I mean I could just literally take it out and then put it into any new machine I've got. It was great. I mean, the good thing is, because I was migrating between two SSDs as well, because I had an old, it was only 250 meg, but I had a 250 meg SSD. That was quite slow, actually. Well, no, between different machines you can still do it if you think about it, Alex, because, I mean, if you've got your old system and you put your new hard disk drive into it, even in a caddy, okay, and it recognises that disk, you can still use the Samsung or whatever, you know, migration tool, migrate all of your data to that new hard disk drive and make it a boot drive. And then when you slam that into your new computer, all it's going to do is get confused and think you've got some new hardware. Because I've done that as well, and it's absolutely fine. So yeah, you can do it between different machines. Right, I'm going to make 3 copies of this door. There we go, and click play. God, look at all the viewers I've got today. This is a very interactive stream compared to my usual ones. Okay, so blueprint. So that was the abstract class, I think. Or was it? No, actually, because it's Windows 10, if you think about it, Windows 10 giveth not a shit. It will just, you know, pick up the new hardware and reconfigure. When I used to have Windows 5, maybe it used to be like that. But no, not anymore. It's absolutely fine. I've never had a problem with Windows 10. I've done that a couple of times actually. When Windows 10 first came out, I just took out my old hard disk drive from my old computer and just slapped it into my new computer. And you know, it went a bit loopy for a bit. It was like, what's all this stuff? But it rewrites pretty darn fast, to be honest. You know, pretty darn fast. And the good thing is, because you're doing it from a backup, really, of your old boot drive, it just goes ahead and does it. And you've got a backup in case everything goes to shit. So right. This is very much not a lesson. This is very much just like Chris tries to get shit working and cries. Okay, that's the one. It might be, but to be honest, you know as well as I do, you can adjust those. You can just get in touch with the company, usually as long as it's licensed, and they'll like give you the thing you need to reset it up. There we go. I need this, so this will be my door 1. Play. I mean, it's not like the old days where we used to have like 50 dongles sticking out the back of our computers, at least, so there is that. Oh shit, I'm an idiot. I don't know what's going on with this. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a new one. They bring out new Samsung tools pretty regularly. And like I say, I mean, I bought the 970 Evo M2 stick for... I mean, they're not cheap. I mean, mine was... God, I can't remember how much. It was like about £150. But I wanted a fast drive to run Unreal on, because when I was teaching you and your friends, you and your team, I was teaching... my Unreal Engine was on a mechanical drive, and I thought, well, I can't keep doing this, you know, while I'm waiting for my thing. I have to move off mechanical drives because the speed is just ridiculous. I mean, here it is here, this old Western Digital, and I did a speed test between this and my new Evo, and this gets 111 megabytes a second average read speed, and that gets 3,611. So, you know, you can see the difference. It's really worth it. The hard disk drive, big change. On top of that, I put some new memory in as well. So, I mean, if I can't do anything with the GPU, it's always going to be a case of, well, I'll do the memory. Now, where are the flippy flops? Oh yeah, that's it. So I have to go to this asset. Reason being that I have not built any collision meshes for it. So if I go collision, simple collision, we can see it's just got that simple one there, which I don't want because it's no use to me. So I can't really go into mesh editing for this, which is a pisser. Let's bring it over to here. Yeah, it's very worth moving over to SSD for your data as well. I mean, I have now, and I'm very glad that I've done it, to be honest. It makes things so much easier for me. Right, just got to adjust this. Oh my goodness, yeah, definitely. I mean, like I say, I've got 2 Evos in my system. I've got a non-M2 Evo and a M2 Evo. The M2 Evo is my boot drive. The non-M2 Evo is my data drive, and then I've got basically a little scratch drive, which is my old 250. And I mean, having a full SSD computer, the difference. I boot into Windows now. Once it gets past post, it takes 3 seconds to boot into Windows, which is just absurd, quite frankly. And yes, you can drag and copy parts of your collision mesh. Just for anyone who's watching, who's going, what is this witchcraft that Chris is producing? You can also overlap them if you really want to. You can do all sorts of funky things. Oh, Alex, I wanted to ask you actually while you're in here. I was talking to Jupe, and he wants to present a list of subjects that might be of use to architects for learning UE4. If you can think of anything in particular that would be useful or would have been useful, while you're coming across, while you're doing your, while you're transitioning to using UE4, just fire me or Hajoop off an email, because the more information we can get, the better. Because Unreal Engine, Epic are still quite kind of, oh, how does this work? They don't fully understand that people who, are doing something aside from games want to use their stuff. And I think Joop's more interested in just specialising now in doing archeries and engineering stuff, which makes sense. I mean, you guys are a lot nicer to teach than a team of like young teenagers, to be quite honest, all wanting to do game dev and want to know how to do pew pew. Right, so that seems to have worked. I'm going to click save, Control S, and just save all. Right. I'm just going to turn my snaps back on to 10. No, that's fine. It's like anything else. I spent so long before I transitioned from Max to UE, like the way I am now. I mean, if you were in earlier on the stream, you'd have seen me like, using Max still to do some bits that I needed to do. But I mean, I'm trying to do as much as I can at the minute in UE because it makes things a lot easier for me. Right, let's see. So if I click play now, doors opening. Alright. Right, even though the door handle's on the right hand side, I can probably make it open away from me if I want to. So right after I pass through, let's jam the door and see what happens. Oh no! Perfect. Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot actually, the configurator, which we only briefly touched on at the time. Joop thinks that probably doing some specialist stuff on the configurator would be a really, really good idea, and to be honest, I'm inclined to agree. I think it would be entirely possible to teach a team how to like set up their own configurator for a product and build the HUD and all of that kind of thing fairly easily, to be honest. So I think that's not a bad idea. I can make the door locked, so I can get a key good. Okay, so excellent, that is working the way I want it to. So next, let's look at if I can make a key or not. You see, what I've got here, Alex, and for anyone else who's watching, 10 of you is an amazing amount, so hello everyone. Don't be afraid to say hello. I'm not trying to charge you money, okay? You don't need to follow or anything like that. If you want to, that's cool. Anyway, what I'm doing here is I have to strip out a load of my functionality. Yeah, I understand that. You have to really, it takes time. I mean, it took me time, Alex. But I've stripped out a load of the functionality in the wiki because it really wasn't working the way I wanted it to, and it slowed shit down like so considerably. So now what I'm doing is I've added in some new mechanics to this. So for example, these doors which lock. And now I'm working on making the door locks actually work. So for this I need to work on a key. So let's see. Let's imagine I have a cube. I don't need to imagine because I do. There it is. Now then, I'm very fortunate because I needed a load of functions. You'll find this quite interesting actually, Alex. I needed a load of functions that I didn't have, and I didn't want to have to rewrite from scratch. So I went to the marketplace, and avoiding looking at the fat unicorn, because I really want the fat unicorn now, I went and bought a load of blueprint classes that someone else had built that he called the horror mechanics set. Now that works out okay for me because like I'm building something quite similar in look to Dear Esther, you know. Do's and don'ts of getting animations out of Max. Oof, well, do check your keyframes and remove any excess keyframes you don't want. Do use animation directly inside of Unreal Engine to control things like curves and animation if you can, because then it's going to be a lot lighter. Don't forget to put your skeletons in hierarchies. Do remember to click the tab that says import a skeletal mesh if you're importing a skeletal mesh actor. I'll show you how to import some skeletal meshes soon. Actually, it's not very hard at all, you know, especially if you're used to Max. Anyway, I'm going to come down to my thing here, and I want a key. So let's see, content, lighthouse, assets, doors, right click, make a new blueprint class, type in the word key. Right, BP inventory key, under BP inventory item. See what happens there. Give it a double click. Right, so static mesh, so it wants a static mesh to represent the key, or a skeletal mesh. Child actor, it's got some inherited lights. Okay, well, let's see if I can find something to use as a key in this. So I'll just type in the word key. I'm pretty sure I've got a key asset knocking around. I'll change my filter to mesh, so it's static. There we go. Ah, here we are, SM old key, so I'll just put that in there. Compile and save, and then turn my filters back off again. Okay, so now if I go into my lighthouse, assets, doors, put my thing there and zoom in on it. Whoops a daisy. There we go. We should, in theory, yep, there's a key. Okay, so we have a key now. I'll just move that to about there, so it's slightly on the edge, and click play. So now if I wander over, there is a key which opens a door. Collect. Groovy. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to make a locked door. So I'll just duplicate this along. There we are. And this door shall be locked. And I shall generate a unique GUID and copy it. There we are. Right, now if I go into my key that I've just created here, which is, as we can see, a nice little pawn. So that's my BP key item data. There's its GUID. I'll put that in there. Oh no, hang on. Damn it, I need to undo that. I need to change it up here where it says key GUID, sorry. Okay, so now one of these doors is locked, it's that one. I'm going to invert the opening side as well and click play. Oh, there's a key. Collect that. Now I can check my inventory and move it from slot to slot. And now my key is gone. So that works. Okay, we have and then the door jams itself afterwards, which is kind of cute. I like that. And I can come back here again, and that's also jammed. Okay, that's actually kind of a fair amount of progress that I'm really quite happy about, to be honest, because I needed that kind of progress. Right. Next thing I need to do then is I'm going to come over here to the key, because I need to build a simple set of puzzles that are going to make day one work in my game, okay? Because there's the simple puzzles that make it work, and then after the simple puzzles there's kind of the interactivity, okay? So in day one, you know, you've got to go and pick up some fuel and take some fuel to wherever, but at the same time, you know, you've got to have a conversation which tells you where the fuel is. You've got to have the conversation explaining what you do when you get up there. I've also got to build some new switches to make the power come on and stuff like that. Yes. Right, so let me see. Inventory item, that's all done. God, I can't believe this is working. That's such a nice change. Well, you know what everyone's earns now, don't you? Ah, yeah, hurdy-gurdy time. Well, I do not have enough notes to play the whole, sadly, of the theme tune to that show with all the penises in. Oh, what a lovely instrument. Does it not warm your heart? It warms my heart. Okay. Now, where was I? Finger guns, yes. Okay, so that's working the way I need it to. So what I need to do is I'm going to make a quick notepad, because that's as good a way as any, and it means I don't have to go to Trello, which does annoy me sometimes. So if I look at my course of actions being get the torch, go with the torch and get fuel, go with the fuel and open the, what's it called again? The winter's coming, go with the fuel and open the engine room. Key needed. Okay, fuel up the engine and start the generator. So, actions needed to start the generator. Starting the generator. 1. Put in the fuel. 2. Prime it. I'll just call that number 1, didn't I? That's not a good start. And then number 3, hit the starter. Turn on the lights. Open light panel. Throw the light switches. Okay, so after that we're going to continue on up to the lighthouse. Go into the lighthouse. Go to the kitchen for dinner. Go to bed. Day 1 over. Okay, so that's the series of actions that need to be completed. Now, for going to bed, ladies in your pyjamas, go to the kitchen for dinner, eat by using the plate of food. Yep. Great. This is all okay. Control S. So I'm going to call this my wiki task list. And today is the 9th, so it's the day before my birthday. If anyone wants to send me a whiskey or chocolates or whatever. Turn 49 tomorrow, man. Surprises the shit out of me as well. Right, there we go. So activate bed by using pajamas. Day one is over. Right, next, torches. So I want a nice torch. Assets doors. I think I'm going to rename this assets doors to assets usable props. That seems a more useful name. Because this, for example, is a key. Blueprint key. There we go. And this is blueprint door 01. Right, so over here, if I go to blueprint class. Right, so I'm going to create a new flashlight examinable actor, even though I hate the word flashlight. And so shall be renaming it to BP torch and placing it just there. Play. I'm going to guess that this is just an actor, you say. It's not going to do nothing. Okay, so that's BP torch. BP torch. Yeah, okay, let's try the other one. I want to be able to change its meshes and stuff like that as well. New blueprint class. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so that's the wieldable actor. Just floating in the squee there. Yeah, no, Alex, sorry about that, man. Hang on. I'll see if I can fix that. Just delete this first. There we go. Right, next. So right click, blueprint class, yoink. I'm going to grab my flashlight item data from here. So this should just be, yeah, that's just item data. Yeah. I'm getting used to all these different classes that I've got here, you see. So let's see. I've got these and this. Flashlight examinable and flashlight wieldable actor. So this one I should be able to examine. If I just drag it into nowhere land and lift it up. Okay. Doesn't have a whole lot of options available for it. If I click play, it just wanders over to this floating object. Not getting a lot. Right, let's try that again. With some of these classes, you see, I've got to try and work out how they kind of work, which takes a little bit of getting used to, because often, as you know, people don't create models the way you're used to, and they certainly don't create what do you call it? They certainly don't create like blueprints, you know, the way you're used to either. So so these are just actors. There we go. So my guess is this is probably just a pinnable actor. Let's have a look. Auto receive input disabled, initial lifespan, blah de blah de blah, yeah. Okay, so let me have a look over here in my notes. Right, so a wieldable item is an inventory item that can be equipped and wielded. It consists of an inventory item that inhabits BP wieldable item data. Use the item flashlight as a reference. Okay, so actually I think therefore there should already be an asset called flashlight that I might be able to use. Go away. So if I come down here to type in the word flashlight, which I hate. Physics assets, SK flashlight. These are the meshes. BP flashlight examinable actor, which I'm pretty sure I've already used. I'm not even sure what happened there. Stop. Play. Yeah. That's not it. Right. That's BP flashlight wieldable, which I've already looked at. That's the physics assets. That's the beam. Yay, this is going to take forever, I can tell. So just see if I can get this actually working as a wieldable thing. I'm willing to bet that I probably can't. Nope, this is going to take a little bit of work. Hey. So paint this one either. Okay, so if it's not that, I did actually get this working before, but I've completely forgotten how I got it working now, which is a teeny weeny bit annoying. Okay, wieldable item is an inventory class that can be equipped or wielded by the player character, consisting of an inventory item that inherits BP wieldable item data. Defines a wieldable actor class to be attached to the player character hand, and a third person mesh to be attached to the body mesh of the player character as a shadow only mesh. An actor that inherits BP wieldable actor that is attached to the player character defines which animations are played. Right, well, that's great. Well, that is confusing. Save current file, open level, and let's see what the example is in here. No, not you, you're not the right thing at all. Tests, you'll do. I need another coffee. So, right. Okay, so one has to wonder. BP inventory item. Okay, so I'll make a note of this. Sticky notes. Where's my sticky notes? Right, so for this, I'm going to try BP inventory item. Okay, so I'm going to drive something that they can use to actually put in their inventory. Not a gun. Although I quite like whatever these are. Syringes. Flipping love the fact that I've got syringes. So we've got and an axe. BP item axe. Flipping amazing. Okay, so file, recent levels, workbench. And I'm going to move this a bit closer to where I begin. There we are. Now, I need inventory item, so come over here to my lighthouse and go into my assets and my usable props. No, right click, new folder, inventory. Probably a better idea. Okay, so inventory, and then in here I'm going to make a new one, so new blueprint class. Now then, BP inventory item seems to be what I need here. Okay, and I'm going to call this BP inv torch. Okay, so this is my BP inventory item, which I'm just dragging in now. And it lets me pick my inventory item class, which is going to be my BP flashlight item data. There we go, quantity 1. So now if I hit play, yes, 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 collected. Now I am using my torch. Which I can take out and take in again. When the animation is working suitably. I'm gonna look at you. I'm coming over here. Gonna peek at my box. Look at you. Ooh, I can see a little key. Ooh, I'm gonna have you too. Yeah, let's go over here. Whee! I've gone through the door. Oh no, it's locked. Whee! There we go. Excellent. So there we have some various kinds of interactivity. So now what I need to do is work on this itself, which is going to my BP flashlight item data, and I'm going to make a second one. Item data UKE, UK edition. Now I can come in here, and this allows me to look at some of the stuff that I can adjust inside of this. So battery consume timer. Event finish unwielding and event wield. Event lead from checkpoint is on. Right, so battery timer, here it is. My variable type is a timer handle, by the looks of things. So presumably I can change this rather than having the torch just run the fuck out all the time, which will be incredibly, incredibly aggravating. Battery consume timer. So I can set my battery timer using this. I think I could also do that. So my battery will then very, very slowly discharge. Compile, save. So now if I have this and this, and well, that's my flashlight. I don't need that. What I need is this and battery. Okay, so we have a battery and we have a torch. Now if I click play, I can get that, and I can get that, go into my inventory, combine, there we go. So my battery is now combined with my torch. And I should, there we go, I can now turn my torch on and off. And my torch should not actually run out, which is kind of cool because I don't want it to. Although I'm still not 100% core on this one, but I think I'm just going to have to use it anyway. I'm probably just going to change the textures on this torch because it's a bit rubbish. Oh, a key. I can use that. There we go. And I can go through here, go through here. Excellent. Okay, so I've used these two kinds of doors and that worked just great. The key gets consumed when I use it, which is what I wanted it to do anyway. Okay, that works. That's good. Right, now, next thing I need to do is make another kind of key, which will be a fuel tank. So, if I take my key here, okay, and this is BP inventory data key, so I'll just go there. And I could probably do with making a copy of this, so I'm just going to open up my content browser 2, my assets, usable props. Okay, so in this one, I'll copy this here, and this will be, let's say this is BP fuel item data. Okay, now let's see what information this contains. So, the static mesh is currently SM alt key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my SM alt key to my diesel tank, which I will find in here under 3D assets. Just need to find the correct one. There. Okay, so I need this, and that goes there. So now we have this fuel tank. Now then, for the name, I'm going to change this thing's name as inventory item to description. This will prime the generator to get it started. Okay, can we combine it? No. Can it be discarded? No. Drop the item on discard? Well, yeah. Uses quantity? Yes. Can be used? Yes. Quantity 1. GUID, generate this thing twice. There we go. Welcome back. Yeah, coffee got, well, yeah. It looks complicated because of what I'm doing. Like I say, I'm using the horror engineering set, which is what I needed for a few classes. So I'll change the icon later. I really don't want to at the minute. Okay, there's its GUID and there's its key GUID, so if I'm using it as a key, it'll just generate there. Compile and save. Right, close that down. Now, I've made 2 copies of this. This one will now be our fuel tank. So if I type in, what was it again, fuel? BP fuel item data. There we go, and it now picks up on the item class that I've told it to. Okay, so if I click play now, I can now look at this and it tells me it's diesel fuel. This will prime the generator to get it started. Brilliant. This is my key. I'll take that. That's a battery, if I can just look at it. There we go. And that is my torch. So now I can, you know, turn my torch on and off once I've... Oh yeah, got a combine shit, haven't I? So I go over to diesel fuel, yay. Right, so here, battery, press C to combine. Click on my torch, press C to combine. Now my torch is fully done. Come out, my torch goes on and off. Door unlocks. Jams itself again. This door opens. Shuts itself. I think it jams. Yeah, it does. Great. So my doors work for that. Yeah, that's good news. Okay, so that's some really good news that I've got that working. Now, I can also duplicate the medicine system if I want to, so that I can make it so the medicine kind of works for me. I've got some chests of drawers, so I'm probably going to use those. Trying to think if there's anything off the top of my head that I need to do right at this moment, and I can't think of anything because this is actually quite a lot of progress being made, so I'm pleased about that. Okay, so if I just do a quick save and save all down here as well. Okay, that's done. Coffee. Right, so let's have a look at the wiki area. So file, and actually I also want to learn, or at least brush up on, how I use the documents system, because I think it would be silly not to. So if I just make a copy of this, there we go, so I've got this big old table, and turn off my static meshes here. Now then, I just want to look at my notes, which are just on another screen. Documents. Documents are blueprints found in a level that can be collected, viewed when collected, and also later on in the Documents tab. I need to open a notes data table, give it a row name. Okay, so if I go over here to my HMs and database, documents, notes data table, here we are. So these are all data tables, okay, with example notes, stuff like that. So I should be able to add a new data table. There we are, new row. So its row name is going to be, you know, this is a test. Here where it says new row, can I just rename it? Yes I can. This is a test. Right, could it be a single name, hasn't it? Right, so this is a test. Okay, so for the content, so this is a test of a document to make sure that it works. Okay. I will need to add a mesh, texture, and BG texture to this before it works properly. However, que sera a. Now then, font. So I can use fonts. And on my justification left. Okay, words. Cool. Can I just copy in a document, I wonder? Let's find out. So, can you make a full... Sorry, I can't quite read what you're saying there. I don't know why, but your text isn't appearing in my thing. Can you make a full lesson on how to create a medieval type game? Is that what you're saying? Full medieval type game. I can show you how to do it, but the thing is, the reason people don't show you how to do this is because it's a very... what's the word I'm looking for here while being polite? Right, so to show you how to make an entire medieval game, I'm basically making a medieval game myself. Okay, but I'm doing it in a public kind of way. And so if I do all of the things to show you how to make a medieval game, so that you can basically like learn from it and get your skills and stuff, which sounds like a great idea. The problem is for me, now this sounds horrible and selfish and everything, but obviously I've got to, you know, live. And so I've got to work out a way of being able to afford to basically, you know, spend 6 months putting together a plan and working out how to teach how to make a medieval game. Now, what's better, I think, is if we do it in little bits. You know, if you want to learn how to make a medieval game, you know, I can help, but I'm not going to show you how to do the entire lot. Just need to find a document I'm looking for. And like I say, it's not because I'm being selfish, it's just because, you know, I wouldn't be able to afford to eat, and I'd die of tiredness, because it's a long, long job. Okay, I'm just going to put some dummy text in here, so I'll just go to the Dreadnought. And like I say, please don't feel that I'm trying to like shill you or anything, it's just, it's a lot of work. Right, so I'll put that in there, and I'm going to click Save. Okay, so now I've got my notes data table. Also, you will find, if you're prepared to spend a couple of quid just investing in, you know, a couple of tools you may need, that cuts down your workload significantly. Right, so I've clicked in the notes data table, given it a row name, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. So now I need to access my notes. So I think for this I can probably get a content, lighthouse, assets, make another one, so create a blueprint class. Right, notebook page, item data, note data, actor, BP document, documentation actor. Look at BP document. Drag, drop. Document type is a note. Select my document. So that'll be my notes data table. So I've already got it on my notes data table. Row name will be, this is a test, active page 1. Okay, so play. Nice. So it automatically puts some stuff on the page, which is a kind of a help. I can also change the size of the font, which will be kind of useful. And that should now add it to my documents. Yeah, it does. Excellent. Okay, so let's give it a wee trim now then. So first thing this is looking for is my documents thing, which is my notes data table. So I'm going to find my notes data table here, and I want to make a copy of it. So my notes data table, I'm going to call it something new. So edit project settings. No. I always do this, don't I? Content browser 2. Here we are. So usable props. Right click, and this is data table. So I'll make a new folder. We'll call this data table. Notes data table. There we go. Move here. No, hang on. Move back. I want to copy it here. Okay, and I'm going to call this my wiki notes data table. Okay, just so I know which one it is. So now I can just focus on using this one. So now if I go to my lighthouse, and let's just say, for example, I'm just putting together a quick puzzle in here just to make sure it works. So assets, data table, double click. Now it's still got all its previous stuff, which helps, so I'll remove. I'll use this one, this will do fine. So let's see, I'll create a new one, add, and my new row will be called hang on, so here is the key. No, I need to change its name, isn't it? Intro 1 then. Okay, so under intro 1, I'm going to call it, here is the key. Go to Notepad. Hello Thorn, how are you?
Are you downloading anything?
No, but I'm streaming. I'll be stopping in about 7 minutes.
Oh, that's right.
That's what will be taking up your bandwidth.
I didn't think it'd take it that bad, because usually it doesn't.
I know, but I'm streaming quite a lot of shit, so
Yeah, that's fair.
it's going to be doing
I was
that.
just wondering as well.
Yeah, no worries. Okay then. Here is the key for the door on the left. Please be careful, as it has a habit of jamming after you use the door for some reason. If you want to use the torch, remember to put a battery inside of it or it will not work. The battery should last pretty much forever. Your old pal, Chris. Okay, so that way I've got everything done. Pop it in there. Right, I'll scroll down a bit more and I can change my typeface or my font. I'm going to change my font to 18. I can also change my font material if I want, but I don't want to, and my outline settings, but I don't want to. Okay, so save. Now for my document here, I can change my data table now to the Wiki Notes data table. Yep, that's fine, and click save. And then let's have a look. This is a test. So let's click play. No, that's still picking up the old one. Okay, so let's try a new one. So at the minute, this is the document. Assets, usable. And this is BP readable note. Go to there, content type is note. Get it from the Wiki Notes data table. I don't know why it's not updating here. when I go to the wiki nodes data table, I see it's not changing the data table it's using, it just wants to use notes data table. Go figure. Okay, then I'll just change stuff inside the notes data table then, if that's what it wants to do. Maybe it's literally hard-coded into that, I don't know. So, let's see. There we go. And then I'll come down here and change my default font again. Save. Play. Now there's nothing on my piece of paper, nothing at all. Oh, for God's sakes. Ah, none. Right, okay. This is a test. Play. Okay, now it's picking up the old one again for whatever reason. Okay, so let's change that. Now let's check it's still changed. Yeah, it's still changed. Okay, play. Ah, that's better. You can show the transcription. And it has now been added to my documents. Perfect. And it's got a name there. That's what I like to see. Okay, so now I have my documents working. Okay then, so I have been streaming actually for 2 hours. I did not realise. So I'm probably going to have a break. Because 2 hours is perfectly long enough, to be quite honest, for streaming. After that, unless it's a video game, because after that people tend to lose focus and lose interest. So I am going to get on with this, but without streaming, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Now, I don't have anything on tomorrow except for my birthday, so I might stream tomorrow at about maybe 11 or 12. So, until we meet again, one sunny day, with Vera Lynn singing at us happily, I wish you all a very happy week. If you are from the Americas, then I hope that everything is calm and